Everybody, what's going on? I'm Fabian for Liberty. FabianForLiberty.com is the website. Are central bankers living in fear? In fact, are they terrified of the current market, the manipulated market? And I have several points I want to touch on here. I've been talking about now for a couple of years how we're going to see a Dow Jones hit 20,000. Today, it actually was at a record level, 17,600 and something. And as you know, I normally don't track, like, here's what happened in the market today. Like, you could, check into CNBC and the propagandist over there if you want to hear that kind of garbage. But definitely, I want to see what the Dow Jones is doing, not because I think it's an indicator of economic growth or how the economy is doing. It is, and sad to say, because it used to be. Like, oh, wow, look at, 50 years ago, 20 years ago, it was a kind of indicator. But really, it's almost become a Russian roulette on the Dow Jones, which consists of 30 companies, and it's like, oh, one's doing bad, let's get rid of that one and put in one that's doing good. In fact, I think it's only one, maybe two, I think it's one, General Electric, is the only company remaining on the Dow since it started. So is it really a measure of the economy? I don't think it is. In fact, what it is a measure of is how crazy central banking policies have become. So if the Dow Jones hits 20, I know it's literally almost like the Andromeda strain of central banking that has been let loose globally. You see what I'm saying? So if the Dow Jones goes to 8,000 or 7,000 and oh, wow, look, the central bankers are up against the ropes, their plot and their schemes have completely collapsed. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I watch the Dow Jones, and for nothing else. And quite frankly, it's how I watch real estate prices or bonds, or any of the other, even gold and silver. Now, the Dow Jones, in my opinion, ladies and gentlemen, will hit 20,000 or over, maybe in the next couple of years, maybe sooner. These next couple of years, though, as I detailed in my Fabian Calvo show today, which you can check out at FabianForLiberty.com or download the free Fabian Calvo app, I detail how these next 2 years, you are going to see mega corruption at the highest levels, leading to an absolute boon in the social engineers, the economic central planning engineers, raping and pillaging the economy. Now, you thought a $1 trillion stimulus package that was made for the unions and for the special interest was a big deal. Wait till we see what history tells us of what these next couple of years are. The banking criminals on Wall Street, the Wall Street criminals, which, again, not everybody at Wall Street's a criminal. I know a lot of good guys that are in Wall Street. But the ones, unfortunately, that are running stuff are absolutely megalomaniac, nut job, psychopath lunatics that are like suicide, as Max Kaiser has talked about, suicide bankers. That's really what they are. They're currently terrified. That's the reason that the Dow Jones will go over 20,000. Because let's look at the facts. Margin debt is at record levels. Now, what is margin debt? A basic definition, not to make your eyeballs bleed, is borrowed money to buy stocks. It is at a record level, but not just margin debt. Over-leveraging of the system is at record levels. Corporate debt, student loan debt, subprime debt. In fact, a great article on Zero Hedge today, which I could do a whole real estate video on, was talking about how subprime mortgages are like, there is such a huge demand and appetite now for subprime. And I called this a couple, and again, it's not about me making the call. Really, it's not. This is about just looking back at other big booms and busts, knowing what to look for, and looking for it again. I mean, it's pretty that simple. Remember, the 1% of 1%, the crony capitalist, they make their money by blowing up markets to the upside and then pulling the pin on the grenade down to the bottom. Okay, that's how they consolidate their power. That's how they make money. So let me just say that with respect to the high asset prices that the Fed is hell-bent on keeping propped up, it's really almost a culture in the West now in America where the financial industry was one of the biggest contributors to Washington, D.C. politics and to campaigns and what have you. They're all about, hey, invest for the future. Asset prices keep going up. You buy a couple bucks of stocks today, they'll be worth 10 tomorrow. It is embedded in the culture, regardless of the fact that it's a total scam. They don't factor in inflation. people still buy it, and it's a powerful message. And for those of you that do buy that, I feel bad for you. I really do, because that doesn't mean I'm not investing and trading real estate. It doesn't mean that I'm not buying gold and silver. Even though I know gold and silver is probably going to go, gold will go below 1,000, silver is probably going to go below $10 in the short term. I still buy it. I still invest. I'm tripling down investing in my businesses. You see what I'm saying? So I get what's happening, and I got a plan for myself. But for those that are like, oh, it's a new bull market, boy, you got another thing coming, let me tell you. And part of me honestly feels like I hope I'm wrong about that, but I just don't think it is. It's not a bull market. It's the biggest Ponzi scheme ever. I'm Fabian Calvo, Fabian for Liberty. Thanks for watching. I'm out.